Larson Show. The big unit is ready to go. The Greg Larson Show. Muck around on the Mazapan. A fresh custard in his hand. The greatest podcast in all the land. Greg Larson Show. Yeah. What we need, another podcast show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Greg Larson Show. And this week, I got a bloody axe to grind. That's the first issue, which I don't actually have an axe to grind about. It's just a little update. Is that my Rodecaster, the thing that makes all these sounds. They released a firmware update. Long story short, there was tech issues. I lost every single sound on there, including the sound of Crabman. Crabman. That's me doing an impression of the sound, but I can't. There's no button I can push now that will make Crabman happen. That's been lost to time. It's like the burning of Alexandria. All the samples, all gone. Israel is committing genocide. Crabman, all gone. All gone. It's the end of an era. There's nothing anyone can do about it. And there's no point crying. Okay. Wipe away those tears. We just have to move on. Now I'm at my Rodecaster and I've just got the stock sounds on it. I've got this. I got that. I got that. Yeah, a couple others. Crickets. There you go. There's a little function that lets you mute stuff on the fly, so I can go like, you fucking cunt. I'm going to fucking kill you, cunt. So that's kind of cool, but beyond that, it's a new day and we're going to have to move forward. I'll start making some new sounds. I've been thinking about getting a Prawn Man sample started, so, who knows what the future will hold. But for now, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about, in this episode, why you should delete your Spotify account forever. And before you even say anything, yes, this is because I have a personal problem with Spotify and I'm trying to use my platform to my own selfish ends. Of course I am. If you didn't think that I would do something like that, then you don't know me, mate. You don't fucking know who I am.
You don't know what I'm fucking capable of.
I'm a fucking psycho, dude.
I'm pissed off at Spotify, and like any celebrity that gets diagnosed with an illness, now I'm campaigning for that illness. But it's still, having said that, it's still good to campaign against an illness, even if you only did it because you got diagnosed with it. I've been diagnosed with Spotify sucks my asshole, and I'm campaigning to get rid of it, to get rid of Spotify. And you don't need to know, I won't even bother getting into the details because it's just a long, boring story. But basically, the most recent episode of my podcast, Unrelenting Ultraviolence, which was my live show that I recorded for you, and for me, and for everybody, I guess, that was deleted from Spotify. And this was not a censorship issue. This was not a community guidelines violation. This was not like Patreon. This was just simply the episode got deleted because the AI algorithm that Spotify has implemented has determined that I violated copyright, even though I am 99.99% sure I did not, because I have permission to use all the sounds in it, all the samples and stuff. All the music I got is from from stock libraries where I've paid. The Totally Unicorn music, that's from Totally Unicorn, who have written permission to use their music. There's and in my searching and troubleshooting, I found that it is a huge complaint that a lot of creators are having, podcast creators specifically are having, literally in the last couple of months, that Spotify is just mass deleting stuff, like a scattergun approach, right? There's no actual human being sitting there going, oh, this violates copyright or this. It's just they've set up an algorithm that is identifying problematic copyright issues and just deleting podcasts, whether or not they have permission or not to use whatever audio. And people online everywhere are saying you kind of got to just stop using any kind of music if you're putting a podcast on Spotify, because they're going to fuck you up. And this is just another thing in the long list of things that fucking Spotify does that fucking sucks. And you don't need to worry, like, but like from my end, like whatever, I'll just fucking keep uploading the episodes. I have no idea if this episode will even make it to Spotify. I don't know. I don't know if I'm banned. I genuinely don't know. We'll find out when if this episode comes out on Spotify. But like, I've had interactions with Spotify and it's all been a bot. Like there's no way you can, and they've told me it's copyright. They won't tell me what specifically or what to do, or like, it's just like, you did a copyright. It's literally what they said. They said, you did a copyright. And I was like, what copyright? They went, thank you. Please refer to the original email. You did a copyright. I'm like, yeah, but what? I used like 16 different bits of audio in this. Like what? Anyway, it's gone. And I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to go to an ombudsman. I'm not going to go to VCAT. I can't fucking fight every battle. It's one battle after another.
Yeah. This is a sound effect?
I can't fight every fucking battle. I just don't care. I'm fucking sick of Spotify. It fucking sucks. And yes, they've dogged me, and I'm using my platform to air a petty grievance against a company that fucking pisses me off for personal reasons. But in a way, if you're a fan of this podcast, and they've dogged you too, because you pay a Spotify subscription and you don't get any. Now there's one less thing that you can listen to that you thought you could listen to. You know, happens all the time when you listen to Spotify or any kind of streaming thing. You know, you're not paying. You're basically listening to something, and then at any given point, it could not be there anymore. You know, there's been plenty of albums and artists and stuff that I liked that were there and are not there, or like sometimes even I'll listen to an album and then just one track from the album suddenly isn't there. You know, that's just the nature of the beast. But this is the thing that everyone needs to know, is that if you're an artist uploading stuff to Spotify, you get no money, right? If you listen to music that you like, you are not supporting the musicians. Not really. If you listen to podcasts you like, you're not really supporting, like the money doesn't go to the artists. Not really. If you, and you know, this is a little boring admin stuff, but I think it's worthwhile knowing. If you make a podcast and you put it on Spotify, you don't get any money at all from Spotify. Now, that's not true if you are, you know, if Spotify themselves host your podcast, but that's a whole other thing. Like that's Spotify basically is the host of the podcast. Then you can get money. But if I get 20 million people listening to my podcast, which I think I might, I wouldn't get a cent from Spotify. Because any ads they run on the free version, they get all the revenue from that. There are ads in my podcast. I do know that. That's from my podcast host, right? I do get ad revenue if you listen to it, but not from Spotify ads and not from Spotify subscriptions. Like if no matter how many, like I don't get anywhere near enough listens to make money from Spotify subscriptions anyway. But even if I did, they don't give a share of that money to podcasters unless they are hosted by Spotify. And it's basically the same with musicians. Like musicians don't get anything. In theory, they do. In reality, they don't, right? You just like, if you're a musician and your music is on Spotify, you're not going to get any money. You're paying a subscription fee that goes to Spotify, not to it doesn't ever get back to any of the musicians or the artists, right? So, you know, it's basically not worth my time even fighting this Spotify thing, right? Like I have an income from my podcast, and this company can just decide, oh, we're just not going to fucking put it up anymore, whatever. Like we're going to ban you. They could just decide that for no reason whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, cool. My podcast is just gone now. they make money off my podcast and I just give it to them for free. Like I just give them my podcast. Like I give Spotify my podcast, they make money and that's that, right? Like why am I doing this? Why am I giving them my stuff for free? I don't like when I actually say it like that. It's like it doesn't make sense, right? And it's such a weird thing with Spotify where the only reason that if you're listening to this episode and you have a Spotify subscription, as I do, I pay for Spotify. I'm going to delete it now. I've said I'm going to delete it. I swear to God, I'm going to delete it. But if you have a subscription, do you have the Spotify subscription for like the UI? Like, is it because you're like, oh man, the Spotify user interface, it's really cool. I love the shape of the play button. Like, do you put albums on and push play because you like to see the progress bar go up, but actually mute the sound? Do you ever do that? Because, you know, I don't like music or anything. I just like watching the progress bar move from left to right. Do you use Spotify and go like, oh, I love when you click file and you can look at the menus? Like, is that why you use Spotify? I would hazard a guess and say that you use Spotify because you like the music and the podcasts and the things that are on there. And the entire reason that you listen to Spotify or you have a Spotify subscription is because of the people that make the stuff that lives on Spotify. And they are the only people that don't make any money from Spotify. They're the only ones who don't make any money, yet they're the only reason why you have a Spotify subscription. It fucking sucks. And it's not just Spotify. This is what the last 20 years of technological innovation have been focused on, right? And this is my hot take, Greg's hot take. Welcome to the hot seat. Welcome to the hot seat, Eddie. My hot take is that we technologically in the world of, you know, entertainment, leisure, life in general, we have stagnated with innovation and technology. There hasn't been anything new in quite some time. Every innovation in technology, every new tech thing, all of it, it's not about, oh, here's like a new idea, here's a new service, here's a new piece of technology. It's literally, here's an existing piece of technology that is going to cost you way more. Every piece of technological innovation in the last 20 years has been focused on how do we squeeze more money out of these cunts. Right? That's what every piece of technology has done. You go back to 2005, right? I remember 2005. I was 22 years old and I had the world at my oyster. I had the world at my oyster and the dreams at my feet. And I was living large in the big city, Brisbane. And CDs were around. Everyone was buying CDs. I was buying CDs. And like digitizing of music had taken a massive leap, right? You could get a CD, you could chuck it in your computer, you could rip your CD onto MP3, and now you got all your MP3s, right? And in 2005, you chuck them all on your computer, plug in your MP3 player, bam, you got all your music on an MP3 player. In 2005, I had a device that fit in my pocket. It had every single album I'd ever bought on it, and it had room for triple that. Like it had a lot of room. And I could go and buy a CD anywhere, and they were cheap as, because like it was in the heyday of CDs and DVD technology. You could go into a CD shop, and I know because I worked in a CD and DVD shop called Wow Sight and Sound, and you could go in there, and I would on my way out on payday usually grab a $5 CD. There's a bin of $5 CDs, and then $10 CDs, and then $15. And there's a bin of $5 DVD, right? I'd buy one every week and I'd rip it onto my MP3 player, put the CD in a box. Now I've got a hard copy of music that I own for the rest of my life, all just sitting in a box. I still got all of them. They're all just sitting in a fucking cupboard somewhere. But all the MP3s are on a hard drive. Now, and I've got music that I own for the rest of my life in a device that fits in my pocket. It's as big as my wallet. Fucking incredible. This is 2005. How could things get better? And they got a bit better. The MP3 players got smaller, better, more space. You could have an MP3 player that would have more space than you could realistically than one person could ever need. And now, CDs are becoming obsolete. You can just download the tracks directly, from the band's website. I remember when Radiohead released their In Rainbows album, you can just go onto their website, download the whole album, pay what you feel. It was awesome. And then other companies like Apple Music or whatever would go, all right, well, then you can just buy the whole album. Like all albums, they would just have tons of albums listed here, right? And there were multiple marketplaces where you could buy whole albums online. So you don't even need the fucking physical CD, but you still own the file. You still own the file. You still own it forever on a fucking tiny little device that sits in your pocket, plays everything you've ever wanted to listen to. How could it possibly get better? And some fucking tech bro cunt looked at that and said, what if somehow I could get people to pay me money every month for them to do basically what they're already doing? And that was Spotify. That was how Spotify was born. Basically, you pay a monthly fee, you get all the features that you already had, but now you also need the internet to listen, so you have to be online, and you don't own any of the music. And this seems like a bad deal, and it was at the start of Spotify. It was a pretty bad deal. I didn't have it because at the time when Spotify first came out, I had like a 2 gigabyte data plan or whatever on my phone. So I'm like, I can't stream that much music before my fucking data runs out. I'm on the dole. I can't pay $10 a month. But then at the end of the day, I got a job. Suddenly $10 a month doesn't seem like that much. Suddenly, I can't afford this and the internet's better, so I can get Spotify. And then so I got Spotify. And I'm like, oh, cool. I get access to all the music ever made. This is actually pretty cool, except I don't, because there's heaps of stuff that isn't on there. And there's heaps of albums that I had that aren't on Spotify that now it's kind of annoying because if I want to listen to this album, I can't listen to it because it's not on Spotify. So I have to have like 2 apps on my phone for music listening to and blah, blah, blah. And then I just sort of stopped, and then I stopped listening to MP3s altogether and it was Spotify exclusively. And that's when the rug pull happens. And that's with every tech innovation, there has to be a rug pull. They get you in. Once you're in, once you've sort of made the switch, you've turned over, you're now on Spotify, you're now on Uber, whatever. They get you in and they do the rug pull. And you might be wondering, right? You might have wondered when you're listening to Spotify, how is this financially viable to have all this music that you can listen to as much as you want for like $10 a month at the time? Now it's up to like $17, I think, in Australia, depending on your plan. There's various plans. How is it viable that you can have all this music for this much money? How do the artists make money? Like, how do the artists make money? And the answer is they don't. They don't make money. That's the fucking rug pull, right? You get locked in, you commit to Spotify, you get the account, you pay them the money, you listen to it, you've moved over to Spotify, and now Spotify can charge you whatever they want, and they don't have to pay anyone fucking shit. Spotify charge you, the consumer, and then they just keep it, right? And that's not always true. Obviously, fucking Taylor Swift is going to be making some money from Spotify, but the average artist is not making really anything from Spotify. I don't know if there's many musicians out there listening who know better than me, but I've heard enough musicians tell me personally or post things online that they make fucking basically nothing. Like, you have to be in the mega tier of, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of listens before you make any kind of cash whatsoever. Because it isn't economically viable. You can't have all the music in the world for $17 a month without somebody losing money. And the person that loses money is the consumer and the artist. Like, that's the rug pull. They sign you up. It seems cool. As an artist, you think, oh, people can hear my stuff. Maybe I can make some money. It's all smoke and mirrors. You're not paying Spotify for the progress bar. You're not paying them for the user interface. You're paying to hear things you like. And the people who make the things you like are the only ones not getting paid. And I feel like I use this analogy a lot, but it's always on the top of my mind because I love dairy, because I love milk and cheese. But when you see a bottle of $1 milk in a supermarket and you think, how is that economically viable? It's not. The farmers are losing money. But when you're a big company like Coles or Woolworths, you can just go, we're just going to charge you fucking jack shit. And you, the farmer, we're going to give you jack shit for your milk. And what are you going to do? We set the price. Everyone shops at Coles and Woolworths now. You got a better deal? Go somewhere else, you fuckhead, you fucking loser. I'm going to shoot you in the face. That's what the CEO of Coles and Woolworths say. Wait. That's the rug pull. That's the tech rug pull. It's just someone coming in, getting with a company that basically does what already happens, but there's an app, there's a fucking subscription service, and they're going to get you in. And once they got people in, they pull the rug and fucking everybody loses except them. It's the same with Uber. Uber comes out. It's cheap. It's cheap as chips. Uber is something that already exists. Every aspect of Uber already existed. It was called a taxi cab, right? You book it. You use your phone to book it. It comes to you. It takes you somewhere. You pay money. That's existed for a very long time. Uber, it wasn't innovative. Innovative. Is it innovative or innovative? Who cares? Shut up. Fuck you. Uber just came out and says, what if there was an app and what if it was cheaper? And everyone thought, cool, all right. Instead of using my phone to call someone and say, can I have a cab? You use your phone to type in, can I have a cab? Or you type in the address, And it was cheap. It was fucking cheap. That was the other thing. Like when I first got an Uber, I was on board with Uber's 110%. I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck this shit. Fuck the taxi cabs, man. Uber all the way. I'm Uber for life. It was so cheap. And I was thinking, how is it this cheap? How is this profitable? And the answer was, it wasn't profitable. Uber was losing billions and billions of dollars. But they wait because they have all this investor money. They have like funding runways and venture capital, right? They know that they can lose money. They have enough money to lose for a long time. They wait. They wait until everyone's signed up to Uber. Once everyone is signed up and once people use Uber exclusively, once people they don't say, I'm going to call a cab. They say, I'm going to book an Uber. Once Uber is just the word that you use that has replaced cab, that's when the rug pull happens. They jack up the price. So now Uber is just as expensive as cabs, if not more expensive. And don't fucking at me. Don't go, oh no, it's not. I've checked, cunt. I fucking check. And Uber is the same as a cab or more expensive than a cab. The drivers make less, and it's impossible to make a proper living as an Uber driver unless you game the system, right? That's why things happen all the time where you see and you book an Uber and then it won't come, and then the driver messages you to cancel. It's big, like, I don't know what all the different scams and schemes are, but there's like different ways that you can basically that a driver can get a $5 fee for if you cancel the order, or if they don't show up and they wait for you to cancel it, they get some money. There's all different ways of gaming the system. It's like you get in the airport and then they say, oh no, cancel it. And then I'll do another thing on this other app, right? Because like, don't hate the player, hate the game. They're just trying to fucking find a way to make some money out of this thing because it's not economically viable for them. And this is why in industries like Uber, also industries like fruit picking, and certain sectors of retail and hospitality, but Uber especially, this is why the Uber drivers are almost exclusively people who have, recently immigrated to the country, because Uber needs drivers who are either unaware of what workers' rights are. They need drivers who are desperate for money, who just need kind of anything. They need drivers who are willing to work for way less than minimum wage. And their entire driver market their entire model is basically people we can exploit, vulnerable people we can exploit. That's how they do it. And this is the standard tech bro innovation we've had for the last 20 years. Find something that already works, that's already kind of easy, and then you slap an app and you just slap a subscription fee on it, right? Undercut the competition, make it cheap, then pull the rug once everyone's locked in. Rinse and repeat. That's how it happens. That's why now when you have Uber, you also have like Uber One, and you have the subscription fees for like Uber Plus, Mega, Uber Boy, Big Boy, fucking shit ass dick. And I'm aware, and long-time listeners will be aware, that yes, I am banned from Uber and Uber Eats, right? Because I was pulling scams on Uber Eats. Yes, I admit it. But it's still not good. Like, recently I was in an airport, and I will name and shame. I was at an airport with Mark Bonanno and Lena Moon, friends of, I was going to say friends of the pod, friends of mine. And we were at an airport, and they made fun of me because I caught a cab and they caught Ubers, and they made fun of me. But our cost was the same. And then when we got to the other end of the airport, Sydney Airport, we were going up to film something. We got to Sydney Airport. There's a line of cabs just standing there waiting. And I'm like, can we get a cab? And they made fun of me again. Oh, Greg with his cab. Oh, thanks, Dad. And then Mark was like, I'll book the Uber. And then we had to walk to the Uber pickup zone. But then we were there for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It wasn't coming. And then the Uber driver's like messaging him saying, I'm at the Qantas terminal. And we're like, we're not at the Qantas terminal. He's like, well, you got to go to the Qantas terminal. And we're like, yeah, but the way Sydney Airport's laid out, it actually will take ages to get there. Can you just like drive around real quick? And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, hey, is it possible that we walk back to those cabs that are all just sitting there and just get in one and then just get to where we're going? And then we did. And I got to smile like the smuggest cunt the whole way. Just like, yeah. Like it's actually pretty easy to just go, hey mate, can I go to this hotel in Sydney? Thank you. Like how and that's what happens, right? When the rug pull happens, is the company starts getting worse and worse and worse. And it gets to the point where the thing that it was better than is now it is worse than. Does that make sense? Like Uber was better than cabs. It was better and cheaper. It was. And now it isn't. Now, like how many times do you book an Uber and you see it going the other way or just sitting there, right? And like, as I said, the drivers need to find a way to game the system because otherwise they can't make any money, right? And just the other night, my partner and I, we decided we're going to get a little takeaway. You know what? We're going to get a little takeaway meal. Saturday night, treat yourself. You know what I mean? We're thinking about going to the little chicken shop. There's a chicken shop, sells chicken, gravy, chips, yum, love it. And I normally would just, if we're getting takeaway, I'm just going to go out and get it. Because yes, I'm banned from Uber Eats, but my partner's not. But I'm like, I'll just fucking go out and get it. I don't want to sit there and hope they arrive and, you know, and see it like, and just watch them driving to different suburbs. And then finally after an hour and a half, I'm like, I'll just go fucking get it. Right. And on this particular night though, I was feeling a bit lazy and I was like, oh, maybe it would be nice to just get Uber Eats just delivered. And then we checked at the chicken shop, literally, not even exaggerating, triple the price to get it delivered via Uber Eats. And that's if it gets there. Then you'll fucking wait an hour and a half. They're going to be eating some of the chips. Of course they're going to be eating the chips. I don't hate the play. I hate the game. If I'm an Uber driver working for fucking nothing, I'm going to eat some of your chips, cunt. Are you kidding me? like 3 times the price, takes way longer to get there. I'll just pop down. Like, it's just easier. It's cheaper. Like, it's not that hard at the end of the day. Fuck, I'll just pop down there. You don't have to dress up. You think I wasn't wearing tracksuit pants with gravy stains on them and lime green Crocs with a shirt that has a hole in it? If you think I didn't go down to a chicken shop with tracksuit pants with gravy stains, lime green Crocs, and a shirt with a hole in it, then fuck you, okay? You don't understand who you're dealing with. Like, it's and you'd know this if you heard the last episode of my podcast, which was deleted by Spotify. But like, how easy was it, even just 5 years ago, to go into a restaurant and order a plate of food? I go on about this a lot, but I just can't. It's the thing that bothers me the most. Is the easiest thing in the world. Can I have the pizza? That took 2 seconds, cunt. If you have a QR code and you got to sign up and then pay a surcharge. I talked about this in the episode that got deleted because it was a true story. I went to a restaurant and I tried to use the QR code and it made me sign up. I had to create an account that you got to pay a surcharge. It's fucking going through all this fucking shit. All I wanted was 12 dumplings. And then eventually I just told them I want 12 dumplings. And then they had the robot waiter. It all really happened. There was a robot waiter. It doesn't stop close enough that you can reach it from your table. Fuck, man. Like, it's pretty easy to just say, can I get dumplings? And if you think I'm not doing the maths, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry, I keep calling you a fuckhead and a moron. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why. I'm riled up. I'm just razzed up. But like, I have done the maths. I've done the maths recently when I did my tax. And I went through and I thought, I did rough calculations because if I paid for everything in cash, which you just can't do it. But if I did, I would save roughly around $3,000 to $4,000 a year. That's how much, like, you're paying a lot of money in surcharges, like a fucking lot of money in surcharges. Everything you buy everywhere has a fucking surcharge because of some company that has some payment plan system that they charge, you know, like everywhere you go, you go into a shop and they've got like one of those little square tap and pay things, and they're charging that business a subscription fee to use that thing that we already had FPOS machines, but now here's another one that you have to pay a subscription fee for, and you get like tap and pay plus and all the rest of it. And then they pass that surcharge on to you, or they directly charge, or the place directly charges you a surcharge. So it's just, oh, cool. Now I just pay 1.6 automatically for this fucking payment service. You pay your rent. There's a fucking company that all they do is go, oh, you just got to pay us a portion of it. Like, there's a payment company that's like, also, we just get some of it now. That's what tech innovation is. Everything is a fucking surcharge. Everything's a fucking subscription service. And we're getting locked into this shit. And then when you get locked into this shit, then the companies can fucking do whatever they want at any given time. Right? If I go to my local butcher and I buy a big bit of beef and the beef has worms in it, I can go back to that butcher and go, cunt, what? There's worms in this. And like, and he'll go, oh, okay. And then give me another one, I guess. I don't know why I thought of beef. I got beef on the brain. But like, if I buy something from a business in Australia, I have some recourse. I can go back in. I can make a complaint. I can ring a number. I can whatever. But when you got these big multinational tech companies, there's no one you can ring. There's no one you can talk to. There's no issue that can be solved. If something happens, well, suck shit. It's just a big, and there is no fucking ombudsman or anyone that's going to help you in Australia. The law has not caught up to the tech. And this is how they get away with it, right? Like Uber is a perfect example where they are a company that basically, it's called sham contracts, where you are an employee of Uber, but they just say you're not, so they can underpay you. and the law hasn't caught up to the tech. So the government's like, yeah, I guess that's legal. And it's the same with Spotify, with fucking any big tech business. They can just do whatever they want. And if you got a complaint, oh, well, here's an AI bot you can talk to. If you want to call an ombudsman or call like consumer affairs or whatever, they're going to be like, well, I don't know. It's all a gray area. But in any case, everyone uses Spotify now, right? Everybody uses Spotify, which means if I want people to hear my podcast, if I want maximum people to hear it, I have to put it on Spotify. But because Spotify can do whatever they want, they can delete any episode at any time and there's nothing I can do. I can send emails back and forth. I've done it. I've talked to support. I've only talked to AI. The copyright claim itself was generated by AI. There's no phone number, no recourse. That's it. The episode's gone. That's it. That's it. And if you've paid for a Spotify subscription and you listen to my podcast, they've taken away something you thought you paid for. It's gone now, right? I can't even think of a single thing that's been invented in the last 10 years that has had any kind of meaningful improvement on what it's replacing. Anything that's like significantly, like legitimately a new thing. Like I'm all for new things, but they keep coming up with things that aren't new. It's just a new way to charge you money. That's the thing, right? An air fryer is a perfect example, right? Air fryers. I have an air fryer. I bought one kind of recently and I fucking love it. It's fucking good. You want to heat up a couple of nuggies? You want to cook a couple of nuggies? Fucking buska. It's on your countertop. I don't have to fire up my oven, and my oven fucking sucks. I'm pretty sure it leaks gas. My landlord won't fix it. It's this old piece of shit oven. It takes like an hour to heat up. There's nothing I can do about it because my landlord's a dog. So I've got this air fryer. It sits on my counter. And it's good. It's good. And that's a new invention. But it's not. It's not a new invention at all. It's called a convection oven. Nothing's been fried. Like obviously you need oil to be fried. An air fryer doesn't make any sense. It's like people have talked about this a lot, but that's just a marketing term. It's an oven. It's a countertop convection oven. And they came out. They were widely available in the 1960s. And nothing has changed since then. The air fryer you're using today is not in any way functionally different from the air fryer you could buy in the 60s, except then it wasn't called an air fryer. It was called a convection oven. That's what I mean. When I say innovation in 2026, it's just finding a way to make an existing product seem new and also fucking sell your data. And my air fryer is a perfect example because the fucking air fryer has an app. There is an app for my phone where you sign up to shit. Now, in this case, I have no fucking idea what the app does. I'm not fucking signing up to some shit to use an air fryer. But luckily, that is not required. It tells you got to sign up, but you don't have to sign up. You can just use the air fryer, right? But make no mistake. This is Greg's prediction. Greg predicts 2026. I wish I had a Crabman sound. My prediction is that within 5 years, you will not be able to purchase an air fryer that doesn't require a subscription fee. In 5 years, that will be the standard. Any air fryer you buy will require an app and a subscription fee. That's Greg's 2026 prediction. Because if you think about it, why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they? They'll do it. They'll bring out an air fryer and they'll go, it's the air fryer classic, right? They'll have a classic air fryer and that cooks your food. It just plays a small ad. Like there'll be a speaker in it or something that goes, buy socks at TK Maxx, and there'll be an ad that plays. And then you'll have the air fryer basic plan where you sign up for like $10 a month and you can cook 5 meals per week. Like as long as the air fryer is connected to the internet and you've got the app, you go, I'm going to cook one of my meals. Yep, 1 meal done for the week. And then it will have air fryer premium where you can cook unlimited meals, right? And that'll cost you like $20 a month or whatever. Like that will happen. I promise you that will happen. And one day they'll cancel your account because the algorithm detected a violation in your terms of service. They're like, oh, you're not allowed to cook a chicken with rosemary on it, or you've used an unlicensed ingredient. They'll find ways to fucking license the ingredients, so you have to buy their specific ingredients. And then at any given point, they can just go, nah, your air fryer doesn't work now. And then who the fuck are you going to complain to? This company is like, it's a $1 trillion company. They're not based in Australia. They have no fucking offices here. There's no one to talk to. There's just an AI generated voice going, sorry. Like, what the fuck are you going to do? You just got an expensive brick on your countertop. This will happen. I mean, like I say, it will happen. It has happened already. This has happened with printers. There are printers where you need to have a subscription before printing, and then it will stop letting you use the ink. That happens. I can't remember the fucking name of it, but you can look this up. This was actually a while ago. There was a juicer, like a juicer. You know a juicer? Like you put in an apple, you put in an orange, and it makes juice. Well, this juicer came out, and this was crazy. It was, at the time, people were saying this is tech gone mad. And now this doesn't seem even that crazy at all. It was like you buy a silver sealed bag that's filled with sort of crushed up fruit. And then you put that bag in the juicer, and the juicer just squeezes it and squeezes all the juice out. But the thing was that you could only buy the bags that were like, it would match a little QR code. So if you bought an unlicensed bag, it would go, no, I don't accept this bag. You're not allowed to have any juice. And that will happen. That already has happened. And that will happen with more and more stuff. You'll just have to pay a subscription service. And that's the thing. It's the, what's called the enshittification. Well, I just call it capitalism, right? Because a company, like it's the same story with any tech company. It starts out promising something that it cannot deliver. A company can't give you access to all the music in the world and also have artists pay money and also the company be profitable. It can't do those things. So it has to stop at least one of them. And they start out by just losing money. They start out by and they'll often do it like fucking Uber, Spotify, whatever. YouTube used to be able to make money off YouTube back in the day, not anymore. They'll come out and they'll undercut the competition. They'll charge fuck all. They'll lose billions of dollars a year. They don't mind because they got investors. And then once everyone's locked in, they pull the rug. No one's making any money except them. And now everyone's locked in and there's no other way to operate except with that company. And at the time when Spotify came in, it was slightly better than an MP3 player. And Uber was slightly better than a taxi cab. And an Airbnb was slightly better than a hotel from a consumer perspective. But there's this bubble that grows and grows. And here in Australia, we know all about that, right? With the tax on tobacco. At first, it's kind of working, right? They raise the tax on tobacco a little bit. People are like, costs a lot of money. Like, I don't like back in, let's go back to 2005 when I was smoking darts all the time. That I couldn't tell you where you could possibly get illegal tobacco. I would get illegal drugs all the time. I wouldn't have a clue where you would have got illegal tobacco. I've never seen someone with illegal tobacco. Why would you? You can just go to a shop and get it. Like, you can just go to any shop and buy legal tobacco. So why would there be a market for illegal tobacco, right? And then you raise the tax a little bit and it's like, yeah, it's still not viable for an illegal tobacco market to exist, but now tobacco costs more and it's like, is adding pressure on you going, oh man, maybe I should quit smoking. I'll save money. And it's taking pressure off people like young kids who are like, oh, I'm not going to take up smoking. That costs too much. But then there's a point where the bubble gets too big and it pops, where the tax on tobacco gets so high that suddenly criminal organizations are going, this actually is profitable now. Like, it is profitable for us to do illegal tobacco. And now everywhere in fucking Melbourne, every second shop is an illegal tobacconist and American candy store. And you'd know about that if you heard my latest episode of my podcast on relenting ultraviolence, but you can't because it's deleted from Spotify. right? So at a certain point, the tax maybe was doing the job that it was supposed to do, but then it's not. And at a certain point, the old, a different way becomes viable, right? And that's, I guess, an example. That's not really the same thing as enshittification, but it's it's what companies do, right? They expand, they jack up the price, they undercut the competition. When there's no one left, then they have to actually make some money. So they have to do that by making it worse for you, the user, making it harder and more expensive for you, the user, and making it worse for the people who provide them with content. And so now it's easier for me to get a cab. When we're at the airport, the Uber was a fucking nightmare. The cab, I just walked up and went, "Can I have this cab?" Yes. It's just easier. And it's easier and way cheaper for me to just pop down to the chicken shop than it is to get a fucking app on my phone. It's way easier to just pop down. It takes fucking 10 minutes. I just tell them what I want. It's 1/3 the cost. I'm not even making that up. 1/3 the cost. It's easier to just sit at a restaurant and go, "Oh, can I just have, the McNuggets?" I don't have to sign up to bigmenu.com and pay a surcharge. These days too, I find it quicker and easier to go through. I go when I'm in a shopping supermarket for my shopping. I'll go through the staffed checkout. I won't go through the self-checkout anymore. I used to go through the self-checkout and steal shit. That was cool. Scanning everything as potatoes and stuff like that. That was awesome. But now the fucking checkout's recording me. Now there's videos and shit, and they've got fucking sensors, so they know that's not a fucking kilogram of potatoes. That's 2 DVD players stacked on top of each other. I don't know why I'm buying DVD players at a supermarket in this hypothetical story, but you get what you get. So now the self-checkout is more of a hassle, and I can't steal shit anymore. Let's go back to the regular checkout. I'm sick of standing there when it's going unexpected item in the bagging area, but there isn't. It was expected. I scanned those 3 packets of Oreos. You should expect that to be in the bagging area. And now I have to put my hand up and stand there like a fucking idiot while this woman walks over and she scans her card and goes, and they don't even check. They don't give a fuck. They don't check if there is an unexpected item in the bagging area. It's just fucking, why would they give a shit? And now it's just a fucking hassle going through the self-checkout. There's those little gates that don't open now. Now they have fucking gates that lock you in and they're like, "I'm locked in. I can't get out. Can someone just fucking unlock the gate?" It's crazy. Now I go to a staff checkout where there's an actual person there. And even if the line is massive, I always seem to get through quicker because there's an actual worker who knows what they're doing, who's scanning and bagging like a legend. They're like, it's like going to silver service. The self-checkouts used to be kind of cool. They were a fun novelty. And now it's oh man, if I just want to relax and actually get through quicker, I just go through the one with the conveyor belt and the person. And take Spotify. Let's go back to fucking Spotify. Yeah, I'm pissed off because an episode of my podcast got deleted and maybe more will get deleted. Who the fuck knows? I haven't even gone through. Maybe there's other ones. I haven't even checked if any older ones have been deleted. There might be heaps more. And they're deleting a lot of podcasts from a lot of people. And I'm not going to fight it because I can't fucking be bothered. But from my perspective, from the user perspective, as someone who just likes listening to music, there's heaps of stuff I like that is disappearing. There are heaps of artists that are leaving, that have left Spotify. Actually, I'll check, for example, there's one of my favorite bands, one of everybody's favorite bands, King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. I'm pretty sure they left. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard artist. Yeah. Yeah, they're gone. There's still stuff, there's playlists up there and yeah, but they are gone. Gone from Spotify. And they made that choice. The Spotify didn't ban them. They made the choice. A lot of artists are going, what the fuck? What's the point for us? We're not going to make any money. So why are we giving you shit for free? And so from a user perspective, I I just don't really want to use Spotify anymore. There's stuff I like that's disappearing. There's playlists that I just go, oh, that's just AI slop. Like I was just doing the sums the other day, and I'm like, man, it's easier to just buy. Like instead of paying the monthly subscription, I could just buy like music every month. I can fit it all on my phone anyway. I can fit it all on a hard drive. I get to own it forever. Like either physical media, like CDs or album. Like you can buy LPs, like records, vinyl records, and new stuff comes with a download code for MP3s anyway. And also, like, I don't know if you're into collecting records and you're fun little thing to listen to a record. But either way, even if you're just buying shit off, like, you know, off the band's website directly or off, you know, one of the many, you know, other services where you can buy actual specific tracks or albums, you could just spend the money you use on Spotify to just buy music that you like. Just give more of the money to the artist, or at least some money to the artist, as opposed to no money to the artist. Like if you want them to keep making stuff, you got to give them some money. And I just, you know, for me as a user, what the fuck am I paying Spotify for anymore? I'm a millennial. I've still got all these CDs in storage. I could just fucking spend an afternoon ripping them onto a fucking MP3 player. I got hundreds and hundreds of hours of music. And that's just what I have. And if I just kept buying new music every month at the same cost of Spotify, I'd just have music for fucking ever that I own for the rest of my life. Like everything's getting so expensive. Where's all the fucking money going? I talked about this in my other show. But like Elon Musk is a trillionaire. And I know he doesn't own Spotify. But like that's where the money's going, not him specifically. Well, yeah, yes, in a lot of cases, him specifically. He's a trillionaire. Like all the money is going to tech bros who invent new ways to become middlemen. All they're doing is taking something that exists, slapping an app on it, and going, "This is technological. This is new, and if you don't like it, you're in the Stone Age." And what pisses me off, right, is like everyone I know who, I know a fair amount of people. Like I'm a fairly tech savvy person. I have lots of technology. I have all kinds of fucking tech in my house and life, and I love video games and all this shit. But I know quite a few people who love tech and like any tech innovate. Like the second some new subscription service comes out, they're on it. The second there's a new AI, they're signed up to it, right? And what's crazy is they will often make fun of me, but then I'll see them just every day struggling, just constantly struggling because they take problems for granted that we've already solved, right? Like when you're on a road trip and Spotify cuts out for a bit and you're like, oh, Spotify's cut out. You're like, oh, well, that wouldn't have happened. I mean, we already had that problem solved. It was called MP3 players and we had all the music we could ever listen to in a thing that could just fit in your pocket. But okay, like that's a new problem that's been invented with the subscription service. Or like you're on the plane and you can't listen to it because you forgot to pre-download it, but like, or you download it, but you can't listen to it anyway. You have to listen to it on Spotify, and it's only when you have your Spotify subscription active because you're not paying for the music. You're just paying for the right to listen to it for a bit until they decide arbitrarily to get rid of it. ChatGPT or any of those AI things, it's just always wrong. The results are just wrong so often. Like you ask it something and it will tell you something confidently that's wrong. Ask it how many R's are in the word strawberry. It'll get it wrong. And people who love AI just go, yeah, but like, everything, that's the same problem you're going to have everywhere. No, it isn't. It's not the same problem you're going to have everywhere. People that use Airbnbs, like I've gone on about this a bunch, but like Airbnbs, they're so fucking expensive now. And people will be like, oh, it's so annoying how I got charged a cleaning fee and it was really expensive and I had to do all this cleaning myself. And I'm like, dude, then don't do it. Like, don't go to Airbnb. If it's that expensive and you have to pay a cleaning fee and also do a bunch of cleaning and then they're going to fucking try and charge you extra money because you like didn't put the key in the exact lockbox. You put it in a different lockbox. Like fucking, what are you doing? Like I'll see people like over and over again on their phones going, Siri, trying to get fucking Siri to work. And I'm like, just type it in, cunt. Like we'd already figured it. It's so easy to type shit in. It takes me fucking 2 seconds. It's actually shocking because I was looking this up and I was trying to find out a story I read recently. I was trying to find the specifics of who, because I read a story where someone died in a car fire in a Tesla that they could have easily gotten out of, but they couldn't because the electronic door was like, you know, it wasn't functioning because it's like, oh, the car's shut off, so the electronic door won't open. And I was trying to find the specific story. And what I found out, shockingly, is the many, many, many specific stories of people who have died in a car fire in a Tesla because the door wouldn't open. Because the door is electronic and you have to, like, when the car's not on, it's not going to open. So you just die. People are literally dying in cars. That's fucking insane that is legal. Like, and yes, there are manual door handles in Teslas, but they're like kind of hidden and you have to know where, like if, in an emergency, when you're freaking the fuck out and you haven't read all the instructions, like the handle that you use every day suddenly just doesn't work. And people die. Like quite a few people have died and Teslas aren't banned. What the fuck? Door handles were a solved problem. We'd fucking nailed handles. We went, man, we got this sorted. We've had door handles nailed for a long time. It couldn't be easier. It literally couldn't be easier. But a trillionaire tech bro decided, what if you need a subscription and internet access to open a door? And that's how we get fucking Teslas. That's how you get the world's first trillionaire. These fucking tech bro dog cunts. Delete your Spotify. Just get rid of it. Like, we gotta stop giving money to these cunts. However you listen to my podcast, I'm not going to fight this battle with Spotify. I'm just not going to do it. My episode's is just now banned from Spotify. If you want to listen to it, you're going to have to listen to it somewhere else because I just can't I can't spend a week. I've already spent 3 days going back and forth with AI bots. I'm not going to do it anyway, and I'm not going to win. I'm willing to admit I'm not going to win. So you're going to have to listen to my podcast somewhere else. It's available anywhere you get podcasts. And I'm sure there will be future episodes that get deleted. There's nothing I can do. They've been deleting stuff left, right, and center. No one's checking. It's just AI bots deleting shit. They're not responding to creators. And I know, like, I'm a fucking hypocrite. I'm in the process of starting a website that will come out soon, and that's going to have all my stuff on it. And you can just pay a fee to listen to my stuff. But like, I don't know how else to do it. And I mean, I'm not against the idea of someone selling someone something else. I'm against the idea of late stage capitalism created by tech bros where they basically become middlemen and take all the money. Like, at least on my website, if you want to pay me money to make a podcast, then I'll get it. Like, I'll get the money. And you can pay me money for a thing you like. If you don't like it, then you don't pay, then whatever. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just there's a system for millennia. There's been a system where someone's like, I've got a bit of bread here. Do you want to buy this bit of bread? And someone goes, yeah, I'll buy the bit of bread. And then someone, what if we started breadconnect.com where you still sell the bread and that person still buys the bread, but I get the money for the bread. And there's an app where I get it now. And we went, yeah, that sounds cool. But in the end of the day, like, this problem is everywhere. This is like the problem of big companies and fucking property investors taking everyone's money. It's not exclusive to the tech world. It's a whole fucking economic system, man. And I'm currently in the process of writing an episode about the housing crisis, where I explain the housing crisis, and that will be very fair and balanced. And that's got nothing to do with tech bros. But in this case, I'm fucking pissed off at tech bros. I don't know. I don't know what to do, because Patreon can ban me for any reason, which has already happened. I've got back on, but I'm going to get rid of it soon. So I'm not really plugging my Patreon because I still have it and I will get rid of it. But at the moment, I'm not while I'm waiting for this website to be ready. YouTube can ban me for any reason. Spotify can ban me for any reason. They don't give me any money anyway. And I just keep thinking about it. I'm doing work for these companies for free. I'm doing free labor for them. Anything I upload to Spotify is free labor for Spotify. I'm just giving them something for free that is helping them make some level of profit. And you all are as well. Everyone, every single one of you, everyone in this world that is on the internet. If you post on social media in any way, shape or form, whether it's a post, whether it's a comment, whether it's a photo, whether it's a video, if you're just posting an emoji under something someone else has posted, a thumbs up emoji, you are doing free labor for that social media company. The only reason anyone goes on social media is to see photos, videos, read comments. And if you do those things, even if you only get 1 view, 2 views, you're giving labor to a publisher for no return. They profit from every click and every post and every comment. Every time someone posts anything, that's a bit of profit for them, whether it's like half a cent or $1 million. It's labor you're giving Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X for free. And as much as you can, try and stop it if you can. Delete the apps that are giving you brain rot, right? Delete the apps that are full of AI. Anything with AI, just fucking delete it. Delete apps that aren't paying artists or creators yet are solely existing for you to listen to artists and creators. Right? If you have an app and the only reason you have that app is because you're like, oh, I want to listen to this cool bit of music, and the person that makes the music gets no money, then I say delete the app. Delete the apps because they're too fucking expensive. I mean, fuck, man. Morals aside, take all the morals, take all the ethics out of it. Who gives a shit? It's honestly kind of just cheaper and easier to go back to fucking 2005. Save money on surcharges, save money on useless subscription fees, save time and money on registering accounts and filling out forms and having your phone number and your email address and signing up to shit. Fuck, man. You save time and money. Forget the morals, forget the ethics. Just fucking go on Pirate Bay. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Fuck Spotify. They can eat my asshole. Thank you very much. I love you.
The Greg Larson Show. The big unit is ready to go. The Greg Larson Show. Muck around on the Mazapan. A fresh custard.